Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Making 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 14 of What If Naruto Had the Deadliest Bloodline. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Rewrote the Past and enjoy that guys. And also, if you're new, yes, I did have 3 channels, Anime King, Anime King 2, and Making 3, which I post 45 every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Channel links will be down in the description for you guys to enjoy. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode start? The intro. So, the last spot we left off, as Naruto had become rather friendly with Tsunade. Jiraiya was happy for that, as that will help them get her back to Konoha. Things went south though when Tsunade went alone to handle Orochimaru, as she believed that it was in her right to just kill him and get it over with. As she had to do it alone though. As Naruto and Shizune and others got there as Jiraiya was given a toxin by Tsunade that put him out of commission, so he wasn't able to do much in the fight. Still, Kabuto didn't stand a chance, as Naruto almost killed him, but Orochimaru refused to let Tsunade live if she wasn't going to help him. After all, if she became Konoha new Hokage, things would get stabilized, and he couldn't allow that, as he rushed to end their life. As Naruto had a split-second decision to make as he flashed away, as he appeared in front of the Kusanagi blade as it ran right through his chest. As Jiraiya appeared, launching a massive attack towards him, Kabuto was already badly damaged, so Orochimaru used the opportunity to flee. As Tsunade went to look at Naruto as the blood started to get to her, but still, something was wrong, as Naruto was in a strange place, as he felt himself getting colder and colder. But he was not dying, he was giving up. He was forcefully shutting his body down. Many things were in his mind as Tsunade shouted at him to stop this, as he was the one actually doing it. She asked him what about his friends back at Konoha. As for Sakura back at the village, she's been thinking and worrying a lot about Naruto lately. Even while there with Sasuke, she was wondering if he was okay. As that drive Naruto to push on as he started to heal, Tsunade healing making him come along a lot better. With that, his entire body, blood all of it in total, went in back inside of him. There was not even a scar, as Tsunade breathed a sigh of relief. She decided to take on the mantle, as she couldn't just let Naruto go back to Konoha like this. She had to help him and she promised that she would. So with that they head back to Konoha, and she became the 5th Hokage of the village. Some time passed as she's been working and testing his blood, as she wanted to see the effects on others, as she had placed some of her own inside her Senju blood, got mixed with his as it returned back to Naruto's body. It was like it was forcefully returning at all times. It was like there was this magnet right inside his chest, and his blood was filled with iron to pull it back at all times. His blood could not stay separated from him for too long, and the healing ability that he came with was remarkable, stitching back his own heart together, any organs, his lungs, kidney, anything at all. She was amazed. Sasuke had found Naruto as he'd been acting weird ever since he got from the hospital, as he told Naruto to fight him, as Naruto was not gonna hurt Sasuke. But Sasuke started to talk some things about Sakura, as he was doing to piss Naruto off, as Naruto lost his temper and started to fight him. Luckily, Kakashi and Sakura arrived on the training ground that they were, as they arrived just in time to stop Naruto, because if they had not, Sasuke would have surely died. He almost attacked Sakura as well, as he had turned towards her, but Naruto snapped back in his senses, as he had gotten so angry. He ran off because she could say anything. He locked himself in his apartment for a long while, as many people came by to visit him, but he did not answer them at all. Sasuke had gotten released from the hospital. As Sakura was so pissed off at him, she was angry. How could he do that? As she was worried about Naruto locking himself in his apartment as she went by to visit him. But he wouldn't answer anyone. As Naruto had exited in the night, only to find a note from Sasuke. As Naruto realized this note was saying goodbye, Sasuke was apologizing in the note. As Naruto made his way quickly, the Zone 4 was there in front of Sasuke, who agreed to go with them to gain more power. All of them stiffened when Naruto arrived behind them, as they did not sense him one bit. So yeah guys, so basically that's what I thought. If you guys can switch across the play, check it out for yourself. So this begins new episode. Teiwaya was surprised. Being Orochimaru elite guard, that meant many things. For one thing, you must always be prepared. They had been through hell and back, as they were his elite guards to protect him whenever he was not able to protect himself, and for them to take care of scums that might try anything. Yet, it came to shock all of them when Naruto appeared behind them, without any of them even sensing a damn thing. It was rather surprising. She slowly turned as she saw those eyes. A strange, twisting pattern. It looked similar to the Sharingan but a more evolved state, as red veins were running down his face. His fangs were out in the open, and his hands flexed, red veins pulping through his system. Lucky enough, Seikon stepped forward. "So you came," he said. "Lord Orochimaru was hoping that we should find you before we leave the village to offer our..." Seikon couldn't get finished that sentence as Naruto flashed in front of him. He was already in mid-air. A powerful strike to his face that sent Seikon sailing through the tree that they were in, as he crashed in the Uchiha compound rather violently. As Naruto landed, his next objective was Jobo. He flashed behind Jobo. Jobo turned as he swung his massive fist, but Naruto ducked. Flipping over, Naruto landed on Jobo's hand before stomping his face in. Naruto flipped several times as 3 strange gold arrows passed him. He grabbed onto the last one as he infused it with his blood, changing from gold to red. He threw it. The speed was immense. Kidomaru cried out in pain as it ripped through one of his 6 arms, throwing him back and pinning him into the tree. As Naruto landed, his sights turned towards Teiwaya. "Stop!" the voice of Sasuke said. As Sasuke stepped forward, as Naruto's eyes landed on him with anger. As Teiwaya flute was already to her mouth, ready to play her music. "Why are you stopping me? Why the hell aren't you helping me?" said Naruto, confused by Sasuke's actions. Sasuke looked at his best friend, as his eyes were just intensely focused on him, unfazed, unmoving. "Because I'm going with them." As Naruto stepped forward, "You're what?" "I knew you're not hard of hearing. I said I'm going with them." In an instant, Naruto was in front of Sasuke, as he gripped him by the shirt and picked him off the ground. Sasuke did not try to fight back. "I must be hard of hearing or something," said Naruto. "Because I can't understand what you're trying to say. These guys work with Orochimaru. Do you plan on betraying this village to go and work with him? Because if you are, I'll kill you," said Naruto. Sasuke looked unfazed by the threat. "Well then, you're gonna have to kill me to stop me," he said. As Naruto flexed his hand, his nails extending, he pointed towards Sasuke's heart. As Teiwaya raised her flute even more, she couldn't alone kill the Uchiha. As the others started to regain their bearings, there was only one person that was going through a lot, and that was Kidomaru, as he had to rip the arrow out of his hand that was causing him extreme pain. As Naruto pressed down on Sasuke's shirt, just an inch away from ripping his hand through his heart, but he could not. "If you stop me right here and now, which I know you can do," Sasuke said. As he had known it for a long time now, Naruto was a lot stronger than him, and he could not deny that. "I will grow to resent and hate you, and I will continue to try to leave Konoha until they execute me here," said Sasuke. "Because I won't stay here. Staying here is only making me weaker. I've seen that already. Itachi was easily able to subdue me, and I only goaded you along because I want to see how strong you have gotten, and I see that I'm nowhere near your level. Sasuke said, clenching his fists as he gripped Naruto's wrists. That is why I have to leave. So do what you have to do. Because I won't stay here. Because this time, you're gonna have to kill me. As he saw that Naruto was struggling to make up his mind. Or, come with me. What? Said Naruto. I've seen it, said Sasuke. I don't know what is going on with you. But I spent more than enough time only to notice that something is happening to you. And my last battle with you confirmed it. You were so afraid to kill me. It was like you don't even have control over yourself. And if this carry on, with you in this village, with Sakura so close, you will end up hurting her. Shut your mouth, said Naruto. You don't know what you're talking about. Don't I? Said Sasuke. I see the way you start to look at us. With fear. But not from us, but from yourself. I noticed the glances. I've known that something was wrong, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And now I know, since our last battle you were afraid. You were not angry, you were just afraid of hurting me. You couldn't stop. I saw it in your face, you wanted to, but yet you could not. And if this continued on, you might end up killing her. BAM! Naruto slammed his fist in Sasuke's face. I said shut up, he said. The sound for regroup around Naruto, as they start to feel a bloodlust coming from him. Jirobo started to sweat, as Teiwa felt her hands literally shaking. She wasn't afraid, but yet her hands were shaking, her body was reacting to his bloodlust. Sasuke picked himself back up as he wiped away the blood from his mouth, as he spat to the side. Well, what would it be, he said. Kill us all right here, or come with me. Because the third option of you killing Sakura, or killing anyone else in this village, it will break you. As Sasuke turned, he said, as he looked towards Seikon. What did Orochimaru say regarding Naruto? Seikon looked towards Naruto with a scowl for the kick in the face. Well, he wanted us to find him as well, and if possible, bring him along. But if we could not, we were supposed to take you. You see, Naruto, you can come with me, Sasuke said. There's no problem. As sick and twisted as you might be, Orochimaru might be able to help you. So you won't have to worry about hurting any of us. But I will not stay here for any longer. You once told me that you will help me kill my brother. Well, this is the way. Come with me. And help me. You're my best friend, right? I need your help. So what will it be? As Naruto looked up towards him, several things flashed through his mind as he thought about the past. He thought about Sakura, Tsunade, Jiraiya. As he thought about everything, there was only a few people in his village that he loved, a few people that he would miss dearly, and he couldn't just let Sasuke leave into the hands of that man. As he made up his choice right there and then, his hands seemed to flex a bit. Time skip. Sakura was making her way to once again try for Naruto to come outside. As she was getting worried with him just stuck inside, she also had ramen with her. It was an instant cup ramen that she had heated up. As the shop was closed, she was still angry at Sasuke for what he did, as he taunted Naruto into a fight that almost got himself killed, and got Naruto locking himself inside as well. It was rather late at night, and she believed that he would let her in so they could talk. After all, despite everything, he wouldn't let her stay outside by herself, as the place was empty, not a soul on the street, as she didn't see anyone around. She had snuck out, thinking that he would let her in. After all, it was late. As she continued to make her way, that is when she saw someone coming towards her. It was not one person, it was two. As she realized it was them, Sakura came to a stop, confused. He was out of the house along with Sasuke. As she saw Sasuke had on a backpack, as Naruto was wearing a vest that seemed to possess a lot of pockets. She was wondering why they were out this late. A thought popped in her mind that they were coming by to apologize to her. Well, Sasuke was. But that couldn't be the case. As they finally reached her, she saw Naruto's face, grimace, while Sasuke turned his eyes to avoid hers. You guys made up, she said, with a smile. I'm so happy. Although I'm still angry at you, Sasuke, she said. What are you guys doing out here so late? They refused to say anything, as that confused her. Talk to me, she said. What's going on? As she was focusing on Sasuke's backpack, she gulped nervously. What's going on, guys, she said, tears coming in her eyes. As Naruto stopped himself. We're leaving, said Sasuke. Her whole world just seemed to shatter right there and then, as her mind couldn't understand what they were talking about. What do you mean, leaving, she said. As Naruto calmed himself, as he looked towards her, one of his best friends, if he would even say Sakura was his best of friends, even out of Sasuke. But he had his reasons why he had to leave. For one thing, if he were to bring Sasuke back forcefully, he was right. He would just grow to resent him and hate them. And that would just ruin their friendship. Another, he was losing control. More and more, and Tsunade could not find something to help him. Orochimaru wasn't above doing sadistic things to people to get what he wanted. As much as Naruto hated to hurt innocent people, the long run was better because Natsu could not control himself. And Naruto did not want to turn into that man, and plus he wanted to kill that man as well. And being here at this village, I ruined his friends. And if he was to hurt Sakura because of his bloodlust, he would never forgive himself. And by ending his own life, that would just make her miserable, and he didn't want to see her sad. He cleared himself as he stepped forward. I can't stay here anymore, he said. As by now tears in her eyes started to fall to her cheeks. She couldn't understand why were they doing this. They couldn't leave. She couldn't let them leave. Why can't you stay here, she asked. Why would you leave the village? Do you understand what this means? This will make you a missing name. You will be enemies of Konoha for deserting the village. Are you both crazy, she said, raising her tone a bit. I'm sorry, said Sasuke, as he looked towards her. You're sorry? For what I did. And that I have to leave. In the beginning you were annoying, he said. And I never really liked you that much. But you changed over time, and became one of my good friends. But there are things I have to do, and this village cannot help me do them. That is why I have to leave. Sakura clenched her fists as she turned towards Naruto. And you? What about you, she said, tears streaming down her face. As Naruto looked towards her, there are things that you don't understand. And both of you are basically saying the same thing. And I don't care, she said. I won't allow you to leave. You can't, she said. Please, don't leave me, she said. As Naruto felt his heart pain at seeing her in this miserable state, Sasuke avoided her gaze as he could not look her in the eyes. This was much harder than they thought. They never expected to run into her like this. As Naruto never wanted to see her in the first place, because if he did, he knew that something like this would happen. Please, just don't leave, she said. As she spoke, her gaze was on Naruto. As Naruto realized the more they were out here, the more time they were wasting, he vanished, making a tough choice as he appeared behind her. As Sakura froze. You're one of my best friends, and doing this to you is hurting me more than you know. But I just can't stay. I'm sorry. No, she couldn't get to finish that sentence as she was chopped in the back of her neck. Her gaze saw Sasuke as she was falling. She dropped right into Naruto's arms. As her eyes closed, Sasuke looked over at Naruto. You alright? No, I'm not alright, said Naruto, as he released a sigh. But we already made up our mind. We have to go. Time skip. Sakura woke up slowly as she was in her bed. She was confused. What was she? As everything came flooding back, she jumped out of bed as she ripped open the door, running as fast as possible. Time skip. Snazzy was currently in her office. She has gotten nowhere on helping the brat. Because there was a lot more things to do, she had put Shizune on the work, but Shizune hadn't gotten anywhere. His blood was just too complex. She needed another sample, and she had tried some ways, and it had turned his blood solid. It had then liquefied, and it had turned into smoke, and then returned back to normal. And it had broken through the container once again. She didn't know if his blood was mocking her or something like that. It was just weird. The next thing she knew, her door was thrown open. As she focused on Sakura? Lady, Snazzy. Snazzy got out of her chair, seeing Sakura out of breath. Calm down. What's happening? She said. It's Naruto and Sasuke. Tears in Sakura's eyes. Snazzy feared the worst. Meanwhile, as the group came to a stop. What? Said Naruto, as he looked at the bottle in Seikon's hand. This is the only way for him to reach stage 2 of this curse mark. We don't have a coffin for you. We never thought that we would convince you to come along. So that we'll have to wait until we get back to the hideout. But for now, the Uchiha can take the pill. As Naruto turned his eyes towards Sasuke. And I can die, Sasuke said. As Seikon nodded, the others stayed quiet through this. Are you seriously considering this? Said Naruto. If you die, what would be the point of all of this? But if I don't, what will be the point? Said Sasuke. I need to get stronger. And you'd risk everything for that, said Naruto. To get to kill him, yes I will, Sasuke said, clenching his fists. As Naruto saw the anger flash in his eyes, it reminded him of what he was going through. Constant nightmares about drowning, constantly dying over and over, and the hate to kill Natsu. But this was not as strong as Sasuke hate to kill Itachi. I won't die, he said, no matter what. Give me the pill. Seikon threw the bottle towards Sasuke as Naruto caught it before Sasuke could get it though. As he turned towards Seikon, and there's a short chance that he will survive this, he said. He might, or he might die, said Seikon. You might want to think about what you're saying carefully. Your life is on the line, said Naruto. What's that supposed to mean, said Teiwaya. As Naruto turned towards her, it's quite simple. If he dies, I will kill each and every one of you. As she looked towards him with a challenging look. I'll admit, you're strong shit for brains, she said. But, this time, we won't be caught off guard. As Naruto's eyes kept looking at her, she tried to keep his stare, but his look was unnerving her. Naruto, as a voice of Sasuke caused him to turn. I said I won't die. Give me the pill, he said. As Naruto looked towards his hand, as he tossed Sasuke the bottle, who caught it. Sasuke opened the bottle. Let's get this over with. Time skip. Snazzy was nervously biting her nails. As she was looking down towards her decks, things were bad. Because of the village and the state that he was in, most of her elite shinobis and her envoys were stretched thin, to the point where she didn't have enough to send out Naruto and his team. This was not just anyone that they were talking about. For one thing, it was Sasuke, the last Uchiha that was in Konoha. And that wasn't the only thing. Naruto was the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. They couldn't just let him get away. She has done so many in the past hour. She had sent a message towards the Sand, asking for their aid. With relationships being rebuilt after the invasion, and their help was necessary now, they will send their aid. Not to mention, she sent out a message to Kakashi by one of their messenger birds. He was a distance away, as he was currently on mission. She was praying that he was done by now so that he could assist. She needed every available people that she could get right now. As she was just praying that the Envoy team would return back from their mission, so she could send them after him. She didn't realize how thin she was stretched until now. She had managed to get Sakura together, of all the Genins, who she thought would be possible to aid her in this endeavor. Rock Lee was still unable to fight, so she had gotten Neji, she had gotten Tenten, she had gotten Shikamaru, Choji, and Kiba, and they all had headed off. She hoped at least this group could slow them down, until Kakashi or the Sand team get there to lend their aid. For one thing though, Tsunade knew that Naruto would not kill Sakura. Despite his anger or rage, he would forcefully hold himself back. He would either risk his own life than kill her. Tsunade didn't know what it was, if it was just friendship, but he would not kill her, and she was counting on that, hoping that that would buy her enough time for her to regain her shinobis from their missions and send them after them. She was praying to whatever coming out there that they would be able to stall them. But she was also worried. Sasuke was already immensely powerful, more than most of the Genins. And not to mention, when you put Naruto in the equation, they wouldn't be able to stop them if he actually chose to fight them with force. So she was just hoping they would buy some time. She was hoping, as she knew what the brat must be thinking. She had saw his face when she told him that she hadn't gotten anywhere close yet. It would just take some more time. But she was sure that the blood bags were working. Perhaps it was getting worse and he was just not telling her, facing it alone like he always did. And he was hoping that somehow Orochimaru could help him. But this was not the way. This was not the damn way she thought to herself. Meanwhile, with the Konoha team, it was a lot of them. Shikamaru was given status as leader on this mission. As he looked towards everyone that he had, they were all here as they were here to help them bring them back. Whatever they were doing, they were still Konoha ninjas, and they would bring them back. But Shikamaru was worried for his team's safety. Sasuke was powerful, yes, but it was not Sasuke that he was worried about. He was worried about the guy that was able to take down the one-tailed Shikaku by himself. The rumors had spread through the entire village. This would not look good on Naruto's reputation if they were to find out. It would not look good at all. Shikamaru figured that Naruto was different from a long time ago. Not just because of him staying by himself, but people used to look at him with disdain, and Shikamaru noticed that, to the point where Naruto started to blend in the backgrounds. Shikamaru was not like other people. He had noticed things, despite him always being lazy. He noticed Naruto trying his best to stay out of the spotlight, and many things that went through his mind. But one of the things in particular was when he learned about Jinchurikis, as he found out that a Bichu could not be killed. It can be sealed away but not killed. And Konoha was attacked by the Nine Tails, and there were rumors that the beast was sealed away. At first he didn't know what people was talking about, but now it all makes sense. And he really wondered if Naruto was a Nine-tailed Jinchuriki. He had asked his father, as it had got him suspicious. It was merely a hunch. His father had asked him how he came to this conclusion, and he told him. His father had told him that there were secrets in the village. That was all that he said, and he left. And that much confirms it. Shikamaru doubted that anyone else knew right here. Well, he didn't know, if they knew. But with Naruto being a Jinchuriki, that made him really valuable to the village, did it not? As he looked behind him, he looked towards Sakura. She was probably the only one that can convince him to return back to the village, and Naruto could forcefully bring Sasuke back, as that is why they needed her. With that, they increased their pace. Meanwhile, 4 ninjas were moving at incredible speed, as they had on blank face masks. They were close. They catched up with the Sound 4. As for Naruto and the crew, as Naruto was the one holding the coffin as he jumped from tree branch to tree branch, as he heard something as he turned and stopped. "What's wrong?" said Seikon. "We're being followed." "What?" said Jirobo. "Seems the Konoha pricks have caught up with us already," said Teiwan. As she looked towards Seikon, as Naruto realized that he was the little leader of this small group. "They seem to have bypassed my traps. Whoever these guys is, they're good," said Kidomaru. Something was wrong, the way the people were moving, their breathing, how shallow it was. He could hear it all clearly because of his enhanced sense of hearing. But these people were not normal. In an instant, Teiwei found herself off guard, as a tonto was about to cleave through her throat. She merely blinked, as she was about to die. Who the hell were these guys, dressed in all black? To her surprise though, she did not die, as the weapon was grabbed. As Naruto snapped it with his bare hand, and knocked back the mask. Ninja. As Drobo was holding on to the coffin now. "You saved me," she said, more surprised than anything else. As Naruto looked towards her. "I told you, if Sasuke dies, I'll be the one to kill you all." As he looked towards her with a blank stare, that was the only reason why he saved her, because he was going to keep his promise. If anyone were to kill them, it was going to be him. The three other root agents appear. "Who are you?" said Naruto. These people were not from Konoha, and they didn't seem like they were alive. Something about them, the way their body moved, the way they took shallow breaths, it was like they were bred for being a ninja, like they were some kind of machine or something. "Kyuubi Jinjulki, your return back to the village is necessary, as well as the Uchiha. Where is he?" As the first one turned his eyes towards the coffin, as he looked towards Naruto. "I see, he's in there." "Take Sasuke and go," said Naruto. "What?" "I said take Sasuke and go. I'll catch up soon." Seikon looked towards them. "Do as they say," he said. As the group moved off, Seikon stood there for a while. "Orochimaru-sama would not be pleased if we were to have you and lose you. And not to mention, if you were taken back now, you would never see your Uchiha friend again." "Just a bit of an incentive," he said, as he jumped off at that. As Naruto here started to turn white, the red markings appeared on his skin. "I'm sorry. You people are not from Konoha. I don't know who you are or who sent you, but I won't be coming back with you. And I can't afford to waste time." As a tree that he was on cracked and splintered. Meanwhile, with the Konoha team, they came to a stop. What is that?" said Kiba as he heard Akamaru whimper. As Neji activated his Byakugan, he looked around in the ear. The ear is saturated with some strange particle, and it is mixed with chakra. "It's Naruto," said Sakura. "How do you know?" asked Tenten. "I felt this before. It's him," she said. "We have to move. Seems like he's being delayed," said Shikamaru. "Neji, can you see them?" "No, they're still too far." "Alright, let's move, Shikamaru." As the group moved off once again. Back with Naruto. As Naruto looked at the four corpses in front of him that burned. These guys were definitely not normal. They had some contagion seal on them just in case. If they died, they would burn. And that is exactly what they did. He looked towards his hands that were stained in blood before he turned and moved off. It only took him a few minutes. Someone's coming. As the Zone 4 came to a stop, Naruto landed beside Drobo as he took the coffin from the man. "Let's go," he said. The group saw the blood on his hand, but they did not say anything as they moved off with him. Moments later, the Konoha team arrived. As they saw the ground, it was burned. 4 different burn spots. "What do you think?" said Chojin as he looked down towards Shikamaru. Shikamaru had no idea what to make of this. But, judging from the way the shapes were burned to the ground. "Neji, do you see any residue chakra on here?" "Yes, a lot," said Neji as he looked around. "These were corpses," said Shikamaru, "and now they're burned." Sakura placed a hand to her mouth. "You don't think..." "Let's just move," said Shikamaru, as the group moved off once again. Some time passed. Unlike Naruto, the Sound 4 was getting tired, as they could not keep on going for the entire day. When night came, they had to come to a stop. Shikamaru figured that the other group would do the same thing, as they had to come to a stop as well. So they were resting. After all, they couldn't move forever, as Sakura found herself frustrated. Her body gave out on her, and now she couldn't go anymore. She had to recover, as it was really getting on her nerves. As she was angry at herself for not being faster, she just needed to find them and talk to them once more, to convince them to come back home. As she could get through to them. She could get through to Naruto, she knew that, so she just needed to talk to them. She felt a hand on her shoulder as she turned, to see Choji. "It's gonna be alright," he said. "We're gonna catch up to them, and we're gonna bring them back and sort this whole thing out." Sakura actually smiled for the first time since this happened, as his optimism made her feel happy. She breathed out a sigh of relief, feeling her body tenseness lose up. She was really stressing herself out. Yeah, she will bring them back. She will, no matter what. Time skip. Danzo cursed, as he was currently sitting down in his lair. His roots had been disposed. He didn't know which one was it, but the Kyuubi Jinjuli was involved. That damn woman, allowing that boy to do as he pleased, and now he thought that he could just leave Konoha. Danzo was pissed off. Konoha could not lose his weapon. They needed a 9-tailed Jinjuli. The boy was getting so much more powerful, and Danzo admired that trait. But things failed when he did not get the position as Hokage. But the people of Konoha started to see the boy in a different light. Danzo thought that would make the boy love Konoha even more, but that seemed to be the opposite effect. And now him and the damn Uchiha was gone. He was the only one other than Snad that knew about this. Well, the only major heads. She hasn't called a council meeting to inform them yet. She was hoping that she could get them back first. Not even Hokage for a year, and she was already messing up, as he couldn't allow Konoha's standards to fall. It was either the boy come back, alive and fall into place, or the Kyuubi get transferred to another host. It was one way or another. Konoha will have his Kyuubi Jinjulke. Meanwhile, with the Zone 4, as Naruto was standing in a tree, as he looked towards the coffin, nothing had happened yet, as he didn't know what was going on inside. This was getting real, really quickly. He had to kill those 4 ninjas, whoever they were. But it didn't seem like they felt anything. He had plunged his hand through one of their chests. The man just resigned himself to death, and the others had throw attacks to kill him and take Naruto down as well. But those attacks would just be a minor damage for Naruto. It wouldn't kill him, but it would definitely kill their comrade. These guys were like robots. A voice stopped him from his thoughts. "Warn about your boyfriend," the voice of Teiwaya said, as Naruto looked towards her with a scowl. But she simply glared back at him. "If you keep on fussing over him like that, people will start to talk," she said. But Naruto chose to ignore her, as he was taking a big risk here. If Sasuke dies, what would he do? Was he gonna go back to the village? Would he go back there with his bloodlust that could happen at any moment and lash out and kill his friends? As Naruto looked towards his palm and activated a seal, he only had 5 blood bags left. As he swallowed thickly, and because of the adrenaline they were running out, his body was taking on more blood. Whenever he fight, it was absorbing more. They had to get moving quickly, but those 4 down there were tired. As his thoughts drifted towards Sakura, she must be going through hell right now, and he was the one that put her in that state. As he clenched his fists, he was getting to dislike himself more and more. A voice then spoke in his mind. "You made your choice already. What are you gonna do? Go back on you right now. You can always leave the Uchiha to die and go back to the village, and wait until that woman finds a cure for you. Or perhaps she won't, and things will just get worse. Or go to that man and have him do all this sadistic testing and work and help you. We both know that you already made up your mind, so why worry about it? Not to mention, have you forgotten our little deal? You brought all of the equipment from the Hokage training ground, including the Fuinjutsu book. Did you forget that you were gonna let me out of here? Or was that just a lie?" "I've never lied to you," said Naruto. "And I wouldn't start now. And you're right, I already made up my mind." Time skip. The next morning, a spider landed on Kidomaru. Seems like my traps had been found out. They're gaining to us. As Naruto frowned as he heard the footsteps. He could hear their breathing. He could smell their scent. It was a genuine summer graduation class that he was in. As Naruto paused when he smelled her scent, he almost faltered in his step. Teiwai noticed that. Who is it? She asked. Konoha ninja, said Naruto. You know them, she asked him. He did not respond to her though. How much? Said Seikon. A lot, said Naruto. As he looked towards Jirobo, he stopped, as Jirobo stopped as well. He gave the coffin to Jirobo. You guys go ahead. I'll stop them. Seeing what he did to those four ninjas, the group simply moved on. As Teiwai glanced towards him before moving on as well. As Naruto stood there and waited. He didn't want this, he didn't want to see them because seeing them, especially seeing her, was messing with his mind to go back to the village. But he steeled himself for the fight to come. He was not going to kill them like the others, just stop them. As he closed his eyes and waited, he spread out his senses far and wide. He didn't sense anyone else coming. The village was really short on men after the invasion, so she didn't have much to spare. His mind ran on Snazzy as well. She was probably also questioning his choices. He didn't even say anything to her, he just left. But he couldn't say anything to her, she was Hokage, and she would have to think about the village, not just one ninja. He looked towards his stomach, not to mention he was not any ordinary ninja. Immediately, a shadow got caught. Shadow position technique completed, said Shikamaru as he stepped out of the bushes, as the others surrounded Naruto. As Naruto looked to see Neji, Tenten, Choji, Kiba, Sakura, and Shikamaru. As he looked at all of them, well, that was easy, said Kiba. As he looked towards Naruto. Where's Sasuke, he said. Go back home, said Naruto. Huh? What are you talking about, Kiba said. You're the one restrained. Naruto, said Sakura. Stop this. Please, don't fight against us. Just come back. Please. As Naruto looked towards her with a sad gaze. I can't, he said. Damn it, stop saying that, she shouted. Whatever you're going through, we can help you. I can help you. Just please come back. He shook his head. I'm sorry. As she clenched her fists, stop saying that to me, and tell me why. Neji, subdue him, said Shikamaru. As something was wrong, Neji moved forward to paralyze Naruto. But before he could, I can't let you do that either. An onslaught of chakra erupted from Naruto's core. Shikamaru and the others were blown away violently, as the shadow possession jutsu could not hold on to Naruto, as all of them crashed somewhere else. As Naruto stood in the middle, they started to pick themselves up. We really don't want to do this, said Shikamaru. Just tell us where the Uchiha is and come back with us. It will be a drag to fight you. As Naruto looked towards him, his gaze was blank. I can't waste much time. Yet you don't want to do this, said Shikamaru. Whatever you're going through, talk to the Hokage. Talk to anyone else. Do anything else, rather than run away. I'm sure the Hokage will overlook this. Just a small punishment, nothing more. After all, you were the one to bring her back to the village. You defeated the one-tailed Shikaku. The villagers talk about you in such high standards. The past, they're slowly forgetting about it. As Naruto clenched his fists. What do you know about the past, he asks. Shikamaru focused on him. I know that you're also a Jinchuriki. Everyone seemed shocked, except for Sakura. Well, she already knew. She as well as Sasuke. They had kept their mouth shut, as Naruto had told them not to tell anyone after all. They weren't supposed to know about this, it was a secret. Sasuke had never saw Naruto use that power before, and Naruto had promised that he would never use it in their fight. After all, he would use his own power to beat him. It was a joke back then. Sakura was scared for his life, thinking that somehow the beast might kill him from inside, but that was not the case when she found out more about Ceiling. The Kyuubi Jinchuriki? Wait, I thought before the guy killed the Kyuubi, said Tenten. It cannot be killed, said Shikamaru. It only has to be sealed. And it was sealed into an infant. They always say that the Narus were smart. I guess you're no exception, said Naruto. As Neji looked at Naruto, so this boy also had something that he couldn't escape from as well. He could not also gain freedom. But it still won't stop me, said Naruto. I'm afraid I'm going. It's just, if you guys stand down, you won't get hurt. Hurt? Said Sakura. Are you planning to hurt us to get your way? To put us down to get past us, she said. Those bodies. Burned corpses back there. Did you do that? I did. I killed each and every one of them, said Naruto, because they were trying to stop me. He clenched his fists, so tight that blood came out of his palm. Shikamaru noticed that. And if you all stand in my way, I will kill you as well. As Kiba and the others narrowed their eyes, Akamaru was whimpering away, feeling the bloodlust that was leaking from Naruto. You will kill me, said Sakura. Look at me, she said as he was looking at her. As Naruto faced her, if I try to stop you, you will kill me, she said. Yes, said Naruto. She froze at that. Well then, you're gonna have to kill me, she said, as she flashed through hand sign. As Naruto felt his chakra being invaded, as she started to cast an illusion over him, but it broke instantly with a flare of his chakra. As Naruto jumped, dodging the shadow, Choji appeared mid-air, his large hand expanded as he brought it down to grab Naruto. As Naruto twisted out of the way and ran up Choji's arm, before he dropped his heel on Choji's shoulder. Choji cried out in pain as he hit the ground like a titanic bomb, showing the force behind Naruto's kick. Choji cried as he held on to his battered shoulder. Tenten released a staff as she came towards Naruto and swung it, trying to knock him out of the air. As Naruto's blade poofed right in his hand from the seal on his wrist as he blocked it, he redirected her staff. As she pulled out a kunai and tossed it towards his head before twisting her staff to knock it right towards his shoulder. But Naruto twists under her staff as he gripped it and yanked it. She was pulled forward, but she was stopped as Shikamaru connected to her shadow so that Naruto wouldn't grab her as he threw her back. Getsuga! As Naruto turned to see two spinning claws and fangs coming towards him, he simply dodged right to the side as the two of them whisked past him, but they turned. They destroyed the tree branch that he was on as Naruto started to fall, as Neji met him in the ear and hit him several points all over his body before slamming his hand to his stomach as Naruto was thrown as he crashed on the ground. Sakura landed in front of him as she placed a kunai at his throat. Stop this. Don't let me hurt you, she said. That should give the Sun 4 enough time to get away, said Naruto. What? So we can't be chased by any other Konoha ninja? If they decide to send someone like Kakashi or one of the senseis. Don't move, said Sakura. As Naruto got up, the kunai pressed against his throat. I said don't move, tears in her eyes. As he started to cut his throat, she quickly moved the kunai away. Please, don't leave, she said, as she dropped her hands to her side. There's something I have to tell you. I don't know when it started to happen, but she was cut off as Naruto's fist buried in her stomach. As Sakura felt the light leaving her eyes, as she dropped right to the ground. As Naruto looked down towards his hand, his eyes were being shaded by his hair. The rest of the team got into formation. I'm afraid playtime is over, he said. As Tenten and Kiba narrowed their eyes at his tone, it sounded a lot darker than before. Troublesome, said Shikamaru. As Naruto's eyes snapped up towards them, as they saw the strange pattern, as he shifted his feet and moved. But guys, if you end subscribe right here. If you want the next watch and do like, subscribe, comment down below and turn on the bell notifications I posted. Remember to share all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto rewrote the past and enjoy that guys. And remember, if anyone this is the first time you hear my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Making family. And thank you for all for your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking about to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.